are you guys? Happy 11/11. What an amazing day. What amazing energies we have coming through. I hope you guys are ready for what this is going to mean, what this is going to bring. As you can tell, I'm not in my office. I happen to be in Ottawa right now. So I'm doing live from here. Anyways, I hope you guys have had a good weekend and that your week is off to a good start. I'm kind of like meh today. My dad's not doing so well, so, and of course I went out of town and now my dad is not doing well, so you can just imagine how that feels. Anyways, let's get into these 11/11 energies and also a couple of little announcements before I get started. So thank you to all of you who helped with the subscriptions to the YouTube channel. That has enabled me to be able to use my phone, which means it's just so much easier to be able to go live from a mobile phone than it is from the desktop or the laptop. So I really appreciate that. And here's what's been going on behind the scenes. So as you guys know, here we're in the lounge for the free community. But today we're actually going to open up energiCity, the main area. And what I'm doing, for those of you who have been with me for a while, is I've decided that from today, 11/11, until 1/11, which is in the new year, I'm giving you access to the main room. And what's going to happen in there is I'm going to be teaching you, I'm going to be giving you like little mini courses in there and really sharing with you how to use the law of assumption and the law of attraction, give you deeper understanding, all the techniques, all the processes for certain things, but also really giving you a space to have the ability and the support to create the things that you want, to create your new realities, and to support you while you're going through that process. Okay, so how that's going to work is, as I said, from now until 1/11, that space will be open to you free of charge. And should you choose to stay in at that time, then you will be billed $44 a month. Okay, $44.44 a month on a regular basis. You can cancel at any time, so there's no obligations. You're not stuck. It's just I wanted to give everybody a chance to try things out and see how that works for them and to experience the benefit. But I also wanted to open it up to you guys first because you have been the community for me. I haven't even launched this stuff anywhere else. I haven't even put it out to anybody but you guys that have been following me through Instagram and over here. And the other piece of news is that we've actually, for those of you who are iPhone users, our own app has launched last week, so we'll be giving you access to that if you'd like to use it. Just makes it that much easier. So it's like any other app that you would download, but you're going to get all the stuff here. So you'll get notifications for everything that I put out through the app, which you can silence. You're like, oh my God, I don't want your notifications, and you can turn them off. You can do the same thing with the email if you haven't noticed already. You can set that to turn that off as well. But you're going to want to keep them turned on because I plan to be doing a lot of cool stuff in there. And as I said, really helping you guys learn and grow and create the realities that you want. So if you have an Android phone, we're just in the process. Takes a little bit longer to get approval from Android. So hopefully we have that by the end of the year or even sooner. But for now, those of you who have iPhone, you can go ahead and do that. But what I'm going to say is, when we put that out there, just let us know that you want to be included, and I will give you access to that offer. You'll just have to accept an offer, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Next, I will be doing a 11/11 ritual, but it's going to be combined with the full moon portal. The 11/11 portal will be combined with the full moon ritual because that's going to take place later this Friday. So for those of you who are interested, I know not everybody wants to do these things, but for those of you who are interested, I am going to do the two together. They're going to be combined, and it's going to be 1/11 because it's for two. I'm not going to offer it for additional people this time because it's a big ritual and I can only take so many spots. So that will be 1/11 for the 11/11 portal and the full moon ritual, which is I believe the 14th or 15th, but it's coming up at the end of this week. Okay, so the portal activation is actually going to be a light activation that I'm going to be doing. So it's going to, I started working with some of the team today on it, and it's been pretty powerful so far. So we'll be doing a light activation for you, putting some light codes into your energy fields that are specific to you. So I will, crown load that down from the coal and pass that on to whoever subscribes to those. So that is that. All right. That said, let's get into today's reading, find out what the coal has in store for us, what it is that they need for us to know. I had to pick decks, a couple of decks to bring with me as I'm traveling. So they actually gave me the Soul Helper Oracle to read for you from. Okay, so asking the coal for guidance through the Soul Helper's Oracle to come through with guidance through this oracle for the highest and happiest good of this collective, please. Okay, so starting off with this card in reverse, which is a wonderful surprise is coming. Something entirely new awaits. Now, this came in reverse, all right? And this is why I'm saying to you guys that I want to help, because we're in really important, powerful manifestation energies, okay? And when I say manifestation energies, I mean for you, the thing that you want, okay? The thing you want to have be or do, it's done. What needs manifesting is you. You and your alignment to what it is that you want to be, a version of you. That's what we have to create. So what's happening is we can't get the new thing with the old you. And that's why I want to start to help you understand what the core of your, I want to say I don't want to say blocks, but really and truly that's the word they're giving me, is to help you understand what's blocking you and the where you could use some further understanding as to what it is about yourself, what could be lingering in your field, your auric field, your energy field, that's preventing you from being able to, go ahead and create that version of yourself, okay? So, yeah. And so here we have the Enter the Temple of Your Truth card, and learn to value it. Here's the thing, is it's really important to be able to enter the temple of your truth, meaning being able to access the truth of who you are and what is truthfully going on in your situation, in your story, in your field, and learning to value it. Most of the time, we want to shy away from that. We want to resist it because we don't want to hear it. We don't like how it sounds. It means there's something that has to be done. There's something that is going to require effort or change that we maybe are not interested in making at this point in time. But the thing with this is, learning to value it is really what they're saying. That's the huge part about that. That's the most important part about that, is learning to value it. So it's like seeing the beauty of it. I've really had to, and I'm sure some of you as well have had to kind of put yourselves together after some of the results from the election last week in the United States and what's going on. And so we have to look at the truth of this is what people want, or this is what people are saying they want in the world. We have to learn to value it. And I myself have spent the last few days reconciling and finding the blessing in that situation, finding the blessing in all of this. And it might be something that's challenging to see and hard to look at, but I know there has to be one. I know there has to be at least one blessing in the situation the way it is, and that we have to be able to see that blessing and know and have the faith that there's something very divinely in order about all of this. And I know that can be challenging to see at the way things are right now, but we're being promised, we're being reassured is the word I'm getting, reassured by the coal that things are in divine order. Like they're saying, have no fear, things are in divine order. So it says here, the lotus within you awakens. So they're talking about, the lotus flower grows out of the mud, and and then it blossoms. And we've talked about this before, but we have to go through, that's what they're explaining, is we have to go through that muddied phase, that sort of ugly phase of getting to the light, of allowing the beauty to shine through. So, pertaining to that, and I don't want to focus on that too much. Sorry. So whoever's going to be watching this or is watching right now, my throat chakra is acting up. Somebody's throat chakra is acting up. So there is difficulty in entering the temple of truth. And there, we are all one. We are all one energy. Okay. So even though, our neighbors to the south, if you're from Canada or if you're in the US, even though there are people that maybe made choices, they're the ones that made the physical choices. As a collective, we are all one. So we all know, we have all voted in some way, shape, or form. And I think that's part of with this entering the temple of truth and learning to value it and seeing this part of where we need to go through this muddied water, like grow from that, through that mud to become that lotus flower, is to understand that we all as a collective wanted this because it's going to push us to our limits. It's going to push us towards our potential of being who and what we can be. And so here we go again with crossing the bridge to happiness. Now that, it leads over the depths of your emotions. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. So you want to look at this, that you're your soul, and know that you can soar above this, you can rise above this, you don't need to be connected to it. And when we're looking at creating a new reality for yourself, you're going to have to be able to hover above, to be able to see from the observer's role, okay, what's happening down below in order to be able to move forward. If you're just looking at something from the perspective of where you are, from where you can see it, you're not going to see everything from that vantage point. You're missing out a lot. And what they're telling me is that that bridge, you're going to have to take another one. And I know we had to cross the bridge, I think when it was like either new moon or the last full moon. It's like, I thought we just crossed the bridge. But here's the thing. We're moving rapidly. For those of you who have seen, like, are paying attention to, the things that are happening in our weather, the things that are, like, this year has just flown by. Things are moving quickly. Okay, I can't say this, as a fact, but I can tell you that from what I'm receiving, that time is being sped up on purpose. And so things are moving very quickly. And so, yes, you will feel like, oh my God, well, didn't we just have to cross the bridge like a month ago? Yes, you did, but it's time again. Every month when we go through that full moon, when we go through this process, it's going to be time to cross the bridge. It's going to be time to leave something and move on to the next. And that's why when we talk about, in spirituality, that we are, more focused on detachment. It's about not having attachment. So it's almost as though, oh, geez, I just got here. Why do we have to leave so soon? But it's because you're ready. And I'm getting this vision of like being on a cruise. I know a lot of people that, because as you know, I cruise a lot because that's where Abraham Hicks teaches their workshops or seminars. So I go on these cruises. And people say, well, I don't know if I want to go on a cruise because like I'm really there for a certain amount of time, and like, what if I'm involved in something and I don't want to leave yet and I have to go? And that's where you see that's the level of detachment that you want to start learning to live in, so that you're not attached to it. You know that you're going to go, you're going to have a limited amount of time in that experience, and you're going to make the absolute best of it because it has a finite time point to it. And that's what they're saying in terms of when you're living your life, like living each day of your life. There are days that have been phenomenal. But do you want that day to just go on and on and on and on and on every day? You don't. You want something else. So this is why where they're teaching you, they're encouraging you to move from a place of detachment. Okay? That one hit to the floor. Just 1 second. That's so funny, because it's the release your inner rebel card just went flying off the table. Be yourself and create your own universe. You know, it's going to be a time right now to really focus on what are you doing for you. It's not a time to look around and see what others are doing or follow the crowd or any of that. If you want to create your own reality, you have to recognize and accept that you have your own reality and your own universe, okay? That you are the creator, you are the operant power of your reality. So you have to be able to create that space, and you have to know what it looks like. And so if you're going around, like just say you're building your own city, you're building your own house, you're not going to go look around and be like, oh, I like what that one has, I'm going to bring it in here, because that's not yours. Okay, that's not your vision, that's not your blueprint. And you have to, the way you get to your own blueprint is by getting to know yourself, getting to become familiar and aware with who and what you are, what you represent, what you stand for, what you don't stand for. Yeah, because here we go. To conform is to die inside, okay? Like, be brave and be yourself. The conformity, the looking around, being status quo, and I'm sorry, you know, again, if this is you, but I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Like, all of these things that we strive for, oh, such and such vehicle or such and such name brand of clothing, it's conformity, okay? Like, if you are wearing somebody's brand name, somebody's label, you are paying someone to advertise for them. You're paying them hefty sums of money. You know, like all these ladies with all these Hermes, the bags, and you know, all the expensive stuff. They're paying top dollar to be a walking billboard for these fashion icons or these fashion houses. You wouldn't go to your local supermarket and say, hey, can I pay you to advertise for you? You would be saying, no, you need to pay me. But this is what's happening when we conform. It can become so diluted. When you really think about the system and you start to question it, which most of us don't because we're taught to conform from a very early age, you don't really think about these things that way, okay? And this is why the flames of desire is coming in reverse, because it's telling us they want to squash your flames of desire. They want to keep you in desire, right? But they don't want you to ignite your own desires. They don't want you to lead your own desires to like fuel that fire and ignite that. They want to keep you suppressed so that you can do whatever it is that you want to do, based on what they'll let you. Here's what they said. They want to keep you doing whatever it is that you want to do based on what they want you to do. Like, to let you think that you're in control, to let you think that you're going after what you want. But it's really not. When you really look at what has been transpiring in the world and the way the conversations are rolling, you can see that there is a lot of limitation, and as quickly as you have your freedom, it can be taken away unless you are the creator of your own reality. You're the creator of your own universe. Right? So that's where you have to awaken the magic of your creativity. Immerse yourself in the world of feelings, okay? So you have to know how it feels. I know if you've been working through the keys to creating your own reality, then you may have, or you will be getting to the module about the emotional guidance scale. And those feelings are there to guide you along as to where you're at vibrationally. They're there to guide you. But here's the thing. If you are not connected to yourself, you won't feel them. I cannot tell you how many times I've checked vibrations for people and they come back and they're like, oh, I don't feel that, or I don't feel that way. I don't think I'm that. I don't know why that would come up. But it's because you're not connected to yourself that way. So in order to immerse yourself in the world of feelings, you have to be able to feel them. And that's part of what we're doing here, is teaching you how to get to that point, how to get to that place, and how to learn how to connect to yourself so you can discern how you're feeling, so you can start to know what's going on. Because the level of which you need to get down to. And that's why all of the work that we do, all of the rituals, all of the guidance, all of the teachings, all of the learnings, are the intention is to remove layers and layers and layers, so that it is easier to recognize and discern when you're what you're feeling, when you're feeling it. And not have to wait until something occurs in your life in front of your face to really show you that, oh my gosh. Because let me tell you something, the thing that disappoints you, the thing that brings you sadness, the thing that discourages you, the thing that leaves you feeling powerless, it doesn't happen and then you feel those things. What happens is you were feeling those things, and that energy then creates an experience to reflect back to you, to show you. So it's not the other way around, which so many people think it is, and they don't know that they're walking around with these types of energies within them. So this is where they're saying, have the courage to go back and enter your temple of truth. Have the courage to awaken the warrior of light within you. Let yourself turn that light on and go into that darkness at this point in time, okay? So that you can see what's really coming, like what's really there for you to work with, what's really within you. Because otherwise, the only other way you're going to get to know that is through your life experience, or at least until you learn to understand yourself that way or know yourself that way, you'll continue to be shown what you have going on by your life experiences, by what you're getting and what you're not getting. So in reverse, we've got re-energize in the natural world. Okay, so what they're saying is, and again, this card, it's a number one. I don't know if you could see that one there, but it's a number one. So it's like, it's time to be in your natural world. This time of being, because we're going to hit a retrograde coming up soon. We're in the pre-shadows right now, where you're going to see that things are going to feel like they're resurfacing. So this is an opportunity to get into your natural world, into the space that is you, to get into yourself. Like when they say your natural world, it doesn't just mean going outside into nature. It means your natural world, the core of who you are, the bareness, the nakedness of who you came into this world as, with your soul. You know, your body may have grown, and yes, your soul is expanding, but your soul is already fully complete. And so it's not like you have this tiny little soul because you have this tiny little baby body. It doesn't work like that. So your soul is already like bigger, larger than you are, and larger than your physical self, right? So when we're returning, when we're re-energizing in the natural world, it's in the natural world of who you truly be is what they're talking about, okay? So this also comes in with this card in reverse, which is follow the path of your soul. So that what they're saying is, because like, how are you going to follow the path of your soul if you're not leading from it? If you're not leading, if you're not following, you're not even in that direction, you're not in that vicinity, you're not going to be able to follow the path from there. If that's not your starting point, you're starting from somewhere else, like your ego, then you're going to be following the path of your ego, okay? Here, let's see what we got. We got a bunch of stuff that's coming out. Okay, so the time is right in reverse. Seize the day and make progress on your soul path. What I'm picking up with this card coming in reverse is some of y'all are waiting. You're waiting for it to be perfect. You're waiting to have the right amount of money, for that person to show up the right way, for you to have the right body, for you to be in a different position or a different mindset or whatever it is, a different house, a different time, you know, like of like a, I don't know, it's like just different. You're waiting for something else to come along before you make these moves. I don't want to do that until I have this, or until I have that, or until this is in place, or whatever it is. But they're telling you the only thing that is going to prevent you is for what you're doing. And there is not going to be a wrong time or a right time, but the only time that really you want to focus on that's going to have bearing is the now time. Because what you're doing now, you see, what you're doing right now is going to create change in the past version of you and create change in the future version of you. And so if you don't recognize that, and you're waiting for something to shift, that's not going to happen unless you start shifting yourself and seeing from a different perspective right now. Because here's the thing, right? A new strategy is required. Find the path to love and happiness. They're saying the strategies for life strategies that you're using right now, they're not working for you. How do they know? The stuff that you require to be living the reality that you want to be in, not there. It's not there, is it? So this is what they're telling you. So it is a time for a change. Okay, like, do not wait or put off decisions any longer. And again, I'm never forcing anybody. I'm not selling to anybody. I'm creating an opportunity for you. And with you guys being here, it's like, okay, whoever's here, again, I'm going to put this out and make sure that everybody gets to know what is available and the opportunity that the space is open, that that energicity is going to be open. But whoever's going to be in there, like, I'm not going to chase people down. So if you're ready for a change, then a change is ready for you. But if you're not, then you're going to stay where you are, because a partnership for the new age, right? It's time to welcome it. Like, the other half, the partner, like whatever that is, the match to what you want to experience, it's there. It's time to welcome it. It's time to welcome that person, or welcome that job, or welcome that home, or welcome that wealth, or welcome that health, and come together. It's time to unite. But if you don't make those changes and make those moves, it's not going to happen. So we have this light-filled angel is at your side, watches over you at every dark doorway. The light is always there, okay? But, I'll use this word, but the angel is always there, and so is the devil. They're both there, right? They watches over you at every dark doorway. They both do. But you've got to discern which one are you listening to, which one are you tuned in with, what are you aligned with, and make those choices at every doorway that you walk through. And when we say doorway, we don't necessarily mean a literal doorway, but every thought, every decision, every action that you take is a doorway. So they're talking about living in this world as a dreamer, create a future paradise. When you think about it, I will post it in here in energicity, but some of you may have seen on other social media, I went to a trampoline park last Friday, and they had this huge slide there, and I'm telling you, I walked up, it took me about a minute and a half on the video to psych myself to go down it. I mean, and there were all these kids just coming and going. But for me, I was like, having had some health challenges and mobility challenges, I was nervous to go down, like, what if I hurt myself? And so I sat at the top there, and you'll see me, but what I was really saying to myself is like, what if I get hurt? It looks scary. I don't know if I want to do this. And I was like, but don't you want to do it? Like, you're sitting up here, you must want to do it. And it was like, I want to do it. I want to look at it. I want to be excited about it. So I decided to just keep telling myself, like, well, what if this goes wrong? And I had to say, but what if this goes right? And what if it's so fun? And what if I don't do it and I missed out on this experience that I created the opportunity for myself to have because I listened to the devil, I listened to that fear, I listened to, the voice that says, oh no, you shouldn't. And that's why eventually I took it and I went. Now, you'll see, I went thumping and bumping down because you'll see. And so it wasn't perfect, but I did go. And then I was like, okay, that was rocky, that was bumpy. And so I went up another time. And the second time I went up, I was asking my cousin to film it, and she accidentally took pictures instead of film. So I didn't get that time. So I went up a third time, and she hit the video button when I was like a quarter of the way down the slide. So I didn't get it. So I went up a fourth time. But by the fourth time, had zero fear, knew exactly how to position myself, and it was perfect. But these are the things. You have to be willing to take those chances, because the things that you want to experience, if you allow your fears and your doubts to win, then you ultimately are the loser of your own mindset, of your own self-talk. Okay, so this is what they're saying here. You're going to miss out on all those experiences because the trees of wishes is calling your name, and almost forgotten wish will now come true. If you listen to the fear, your wishes will eventually become forgotten. You'll just give up on it because you just won't bring yourself into the opportunities. But if you don't let your desires and the things that you choose to experience, if you really buy into them fully and faithfully, there is no choice but for them to come true. Okay, so this other card here, listen to the eternal song of your soul, tune into it, and learn to trust it. That's what I'm picking up, is that the eternal song of your soul is playing, and y'all are turning the station, changing the station, or turning it down because we don't want to enter that temple of truth. We don't like the lyrics to that song. It's making us think. It's making us feel. It's making us realize that there's work to do. It's making us realize that we got to make a move. It's making us realize that there's changes to be made. It's making us realize that we're doing things that don't serve us. Okay? So this is what they're saying. And then the time of guilt and shame ends now. So you've got to forgive not only yourself, but everything and anything that you are casting blame on, or you want someone else should feel guilty or should feel shameful, or you're feeling guilty or feeling shameful. You have to let that go and begin to just love yourself for who you are, just as you are. Who cares what you want? In the sense that, who cares what you want and what anybody thinks about it? If it's good, if it's bad, if it's right, if it's wrong, who cares? So be in that zone of focusing on, and therefore, who cares what about what you want? Who cares if anyone cares what you want? Who cares if anyone cares of what you don't want? It's you. You're the one who has to care. You're the one that has to be committed to yourself and let go of anything that you feel guilty or shameful for. But that's where that enter the temple of your truth comes back in, because it's almost like some people are afraid to admit that they want security, or that they want companionship, or that they want love, or that they want attention, or they want recognition, or they want value, to feel valued. Any of those things. A lot of times people have guilt and shame over that. And that's really something that you just want to let go of, so that you can allow yourself to get to that point of experiencing it. Because if you're guilting and shaming yourself, or guilting and shaming someone else, you're going to be stuck in that vibration, and you won't be able to move into the vibration that allows you to experience and align with it. Yeah. So it says nature is calling you. It wants to touch, fulfill, and protect you with its healing powers. Again, I do not pick up nature as, not that I don't pick it up as it includes, but they're mostly referencing the natural you, your natural self. Get back to being your natural self and know who and what that is. And that might start from, changing the way that you present yourself. For me, I think for the most part, it would be, if I was going to go back to my natural self, well, this little color here would be my natural hair color. Just let's not get any ideas. I won't be losing the blonde anytime soon. But for the most part, it's I'm mostly in my natural self. I've really, in the last little while, I'm able to do either. I could have makeup, no makeup, but it doesn't matter, right? But it's really about who you truly are. And your true self, when they say nature is calling you, they're referencing your natural self, your true self is calling you to come back, because some of you have gone too far away. So we have the love of your dragon reaches out to you. The realm of your truth is opening up. You see, this card in reverse, it's the truth is there. It's trying to reach you. Your natural self, your higher self is trying to get to you to hey, and what this card is saying coming out in reverse is that it's reaching out to you and you're like, nah, I'm good, maybe later, call you, or, you know, leaving the dragon on red. Like, it's like, you know, the dragon is there to really help you to be in that realm of being yourself. And you want to get to that place where you are allowing that to come through. Yeah. Because what they're saying is part of the reason for that is that you're lost in the ruins of the past. Okay, find the way to the present moment and live. Guys, you have to stop letting the past dictate your present and your future, because you're not allowing room for change, not of yourself, not for others, not for the universe, not for everything that's around you. If you keep living in the past, you are commanding the future and the present to repeat the same. Okay, so what they're saying is rise above the dark days of life. Like, don't fight with them, but have faith that the light will always return. It's about saying that, you know, don't, because the fight that they're talking about there, you're just fighting yourself. You're really in conflict with only you. And so if you stop fighting yourself, you're going to, and have that faith that the light will always return. But not some of you are not just fighting yourself, you're like in that context, you're fighting yourself to not let the truth come up, to not see what you're really about, what you're really seeking, what you're really craving, what you might be addicted to, what you could feel is out of your reach, what you're telling yourself, what you're not willing to put the effort in for. And that's where some of that guilt and shame is coming up, because when you're here and all this information, all this guidance is being afforded to you and handed to you, and it's like, okay, well, I've you know, I'm busy, or I have this to do, or I got my kids, or I got my parents, or I got work, or whatever. But listen, we make time for what we want. Whatever it is that we truly want, we will make time and put in the effort for it. And it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. There are no sets of circumstances that can stop us. But you have to get in that declarative, like declaring it and sticking with it and being committed to yourself, right? Once again, you want abundance to commit to you, you've got to be committed to yourself. You want romance of someone wanting to be romantically committed to you, you've got to be committed to yourself. You want success or professional or business accolades and recognition and achievements to commit to you, you've got to be committed to yourself. You want health to be committed to you, you've got to be committed to yourself. Okay? All right. Final messages, please, for tonight's reading. Yeah. So feel the power of your blood and your ancestors. You're not alone. Here's the thing with some of this, okay? You guys are cycle breakers, and you're here with ancestral energies and DNA. And listen, guys, some of our ancestors did some not so great things. And that karma it's almost like an inheritance. Like if you were to inherit land or inherit money, well, you inherit some of that karma too, or you inherit that along. It flows down. And so if you're clearing up a debt that your family owed karmically, that's that. And you've come into this world knowing that you can do it. But so we're not going to sit there and be like, well, thanks a lot, you left me with this big debt. If you knew that you had like enough money to pay off your family's whole debt, you would say, sure, I can, and you would still be just as well off. You would say, of course I will. But that's what you came here knowing. But some of you guys are kind of stuck in the like, woe is me energy of why do I have to deal with this? Okay. Yep. So you cast a spell with your existence, okay? Magic flows brightly and radiantly within you. Whatever you're existing in, whatever you're speaking, thinking, breathing, walking, talking, you're casting a spell. That's why, I've said this to you guys before. It's called spelling because it comes from the words that you use. But your magic is going to flow through. You're going to be magical, but whatever you spell out there is what's going to come about. So if you're using the magic of you and your existence and creating lack, you can magically, it's like, how about the magician that makes things disappear? Do you want to be the magician that makes things disappear, or do you want to be the magician that makes things appear? I would probably go for the appearance if I were you. Okay. So it says here, you are experiencing spiritual blossoming. Take a new direction and be open to new experiences. Once again, I'm inviting you into this community. I'm inviting you to expand your knowledge, to expand your consciousness, to expand your aura, to expand your energy. I'm inviting you to do so, but it's going to require you to make change, to take action, to put in effort, take a new direction, and be open to new experiences. So for some of you, downloading an app might be a new experience. Logging in to a website or logging into something, that might be a new experience. Completing a short course without really knowing how or for what might be a new experience. But if you don't take the chance, you're not going to have those new experiences, and you just cannot do the same thing and expect a different result. You know, as Einstein said, that is the definition of insanity. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Once again, just for some of you who might have come in at the end, I am doing an 11/11 portal, and I'm doing a full moon ritual combined this week. So I will only be doing a few spots because it's a pretty big undertaking. So that will be $111 for that. You can go ahead and I'll put everything up in the information there for you guys to book. And I am offering you access to energiCity, which is officially opening today, which will give you access through the app, or you can go through the website. We're going to do our very best on our side. There are going to be videos showing you how to download the app, how to get in. If you have any questions, if you're having trouble, reach out to me. I'll let you know. My team is extremely helpful and willing to get everybody on board and where they need to be. And I'm giving you 2 months free access to that from today 11/11 until 1/11/2025, at which time, if you choose to stay on, you'll be charged $44.44 a month, and then you can book extra things as you go along if you so choose. Okay, but that is what's happening. So let's use these manifestive energies from now until 1/11. We're planting our seeds to reap in the spring. As you know, the official beginning of the year is actually in springtime, not the January 1st as sort of we've been led to believe. So now is planting time, and I want to help you guys, get your seeds planted and tend your garden whilst you're heading into the new year and ready to create that new reality. Okay, so I hope that is helpful to you guys. I hope to see you all in the city, and we will take it from there. Okay, in the meantime and in between time, remember, everything is energy, so be the energy you wish to see. Lights out and Empress out. Lights up and Empress out. Happy 11/11, you guys. Take care. Bye.